Okay. Hey, Damon, happy Monday, dude. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, Kurt, and ready to go for this. It's a short week, but it's going to be a good week.
Oh my goodness gracious, dude. I didn't sleep a wink for this one today. So
Yeah.
I am absolutely thrilled, honored. What a privilege. We're here with my dear friend Wes Temple. Wes, how are you, dude?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to talk about what we got going on for IMS. I think it's really exciting.
And you guys had no idea what you're getting into. Joe was just like, hey, just like we feel bad for this guy. Just jump on the live show, right? Is that what the message you got from Joe? Right. Brendon, how are you, man? What's happening?
Hey, I am doing great. No snow yet up here in Minnesota, but really ready for some Thanksgiving turkey. So, yeah, it's going to be a good week.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, go Vikings, go Browns. Browns had a good weekend. Vikings not so much, right? So that's all right. We'll dive in. So before we're going to talk about Industrial Marketing Summit today. You guys have a great workshop, great session coming up. We're going to do a deep dive there. I want to do a deep dive into Gorilla 76. But before we go there, let's take a step back in time. So I have different questions for each of you.
Okay.
I'm going to go alphabetical. Brendon, you ready?
I'm ready.
Right. B's before W, right, Damon? Is that right?
That is.
Okay, so Brendon, all right, Wes, I have a totally different question. Brendon, here's your question. Ready?
Yep.
When you were a little guy growing up, who was your hero?
Oh.
Who did you look up to? Who was just the rock star of your life, loved you unconditionally? Who was your hero?
Oh man, that is a good question. I think easy answer is dad, obviously, but I think I had some really good, I'm not going to name any names, but I had really good coaches growing up. I played a lot of football, played a lot of baseball, and all those guys were really instrumental, I think, in making me the man I am today. So shout out to all of my football and baseball coaches. It was, that was a big part of my life growing up was playing sports. And so, having like another male authority figure outside of dad was a really good thing for me.
Well, I absolutely love it. So 2 questions. Number 1, what's dad's name, please?
Dad's name is Bill.
Bill, what made Bill such a phenomenal dad?
He just had a really great work ethic. He was a blue collar construction guy, owned his own business for a while, subcontracted for a long time. And, he just kind of set the bar for, getting out and working hard. But then, being a dad at the end of the day. My mom worked nights, and so I had a lot of time with him in the evenings, a lot of like Domino's pizza dinners and stuff. But so he, just really hard worker. Didn't say I love you a lot, but you could just tell he could because of, how much care and effort he put into us, bringing us to football practice, baseball practice, throwing the ball when he could outside. And then just like high standards, like didn't let me slip. He knew he's a good student. One memory burned in my brain was me walking with a late assignment slip to one of my football coaches in it must have been 5th or 6th grade. And my dad said, hey, if Brendon comes back to practice with another late assignment slip, he's not practicing with you anymore. And so just didn't let me slip on anything. Was really tough that way. Which probably made me not a big fan of him, going into my teenage years, but looking back on it now, that was really good stuff for me to build my work ethic and how I treat my kids now. And maybe I do a little softer with him now. You say I love you a lot more, but he was a great man, and I miss him a lot. So he's a good dude.
Well, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Big shout out to our friend Bill for being just a wonderful dad. And I'm sure he passed on a lot of traits as you're raising your 3 beautiful kids. And so kudos to you.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome. And that's a great testament to what a wonderful young man that you are. Mr. Temple, are you ready? You're sitting down. I have a completely different question for you. Are you ready?
I am. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm ready.
Okay. Here's the question. I lied. It's not a different question. Wes, when you were a little guy growing up, who was your hero? Who did you look up to? Who showered you with unconditional love?
Man, I mean, I think the easy answer, again, with Brendon is my dad. But I think if I look outside of that, just like Brendon, it was really important to me and my growth and my development to have male role models outside of that. And I played sports. I was not very good, so it was not my coaches. But there was 2 men at my church growing up who really poured a lot into me, especially my teenage years when I didn't really want to listen to my parents at all, but they walked with me and, they really cared about me in my life and my development. And actually one of them now is still my, professional and personal mentor as well, because he does marketing. So it all worked out in the end.
Nice.
Awesome. Any names? Let's give a shout out. Any names that you want to give a shout out to?
The one that I still keep in contact with, really, he's actually a speaker at IMS. It's Eric Seiberling. And then Chris was the other one personally growing up.
Awesome. You know what? Well, I'm going to be hitting up Eric to be a victim. I mean, to be a guest on our live show pretty soon. So I'm glad you shared that. I might shamelessly name drop.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Wes Temple told me to reach out to you. So, hey, Damon, we got a couple friends here stopping by saying hi.
Yeah, we do. Hey, Terry, thanks for stopping by. He said, thanks for sharing. Thanks for dropping the comment today. And we got Muhammad in there. I am a fan of my dad as well.
Yeah,
great. There's a lot of people out there like that.
Great answer. And Wes,
great.
Did we catch your dad's name by any chance, Wes?
My dad's name is also Eric, actually.
Eric. All right. So
a lot of Erics in my life.
Eric and Bill. So, hey, you know what? And they sharpen our edge to be good fathers ourselves. And so I absolutely love that. So, Brendon, let me come over to you. So, all right, you have Bill, tons of sports. As a matter of fact, I think I saw on your LinkedIn. So first off, guys, welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome to Stop Being a Best Kept Secret. We're here today talking about the Industrial Marketing Summit with two rockstar speakers. And Damon, if people need to be at the Industrial Marketing Summit, do they not? Can you?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
You need to go there. If you're in B2B manufacturing industrial space, you need to go to the Industrial Marketing Summit 2026 in March of next year.
We're just saying, but you're going to get a little sliver of it. So, Brendon, I saw you played football. Looked like you played football in college.
I did for a couple of years. I redshirted at Bemidji State up in northern Minnesota, and then I transferred down to the University of St. Thomas.
Nice.
They were D3 when I played, but now they're D1. So, I was D1 athlete. No, just kidding.
What position?
I was a tight end.
Nice, awesome. So let's go here. So you're a college sports guy, dad, just all the things going on. What attracted you? Did you see yourself kind of getting into? Oh, and you know what? Before I go with that question, National Guard. I want to give a shout out. Thank you for your service to our country. What inspired you? I'm going to dive into your career, but let's talk about National Guard first. What inspired you to join the National Guard?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. So I have a long history of service in my family. I had a grandpa that was in the Air Force, stationed in Iceland. My other grandpa was in the Navy. I can't remember the name of a ship, but he sailed somewhere in the Northern Pacific. Both served around the time of the Korean War. My dad was in the Marine Corps in the early 80s. He was a signalman. And so I always I'm not going to serve. I don't want to do that. I remember kind of laughing at the recruiter in high school. So, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to go be a college guy and play football. Go to St. Thomas, so it's a private Catholic university in St. Paul. Those are expensive. So I was all right, I gotta figure out how I'm going to pay for this because, there's no scholarships available for D3 athletes. So I was like, all right, let's do this. So went and talked to the Navy recruiter. I could not do push-ups back then. So they're like, we're not going to take you. But I was coming up in 08, 09 during the surge in Iraq. So the Army was taking everybody. So
they're taking everybody.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with the Army. So I joined the ROTC program at the University of Minnesota. So eventually ended up contracting, signed a contract with the National Guard. So I got full tuition at St. Thomas, got room and board and all that. So all the financial stuff was taken care of. Wow. That was really the motivators. I just needed to pay for college.
Yeah,
but it worked out. And it was one of those things too. It's well, I'll join the ROTC program. I'll go be an officer for a couple of years. And then I'll get out. And then here I am 16 years later with 2 deployments to the Middle East. And, I got a major oak leaf on my chest now. So it's been kind of a wild ride. It's been really good though. Learned a lot. There's a lot of people in the Guard that have been very influential in my life too. And I think it's helped my civilian career a lot. But yeah, so it just hit 16 years this month.
Well, hey, round of applause, my friend. So congratulations. Cool. Well done. God bless you for serving. And so, hey, Wes, did you hear him say paid for college tuition? Brendon, can you talk to my daughter? I'm just teasing. We'll talk about that offline.
There's only one piece of paper you got to sign, and
then
it's all 5 years of your life.
Yeah, they take 18-year-old. All right, so we'll talk later. See if my daughter might say. But anyway, Brendon, did you ever see yourself going into when you were in college? Hey, I'm going to be this B2B marketer. What's that look like?
Well, so when I was in high school, I was in the business club. I was in DECA. So going to do competitions on like marketing plans and stuff. It's kind of funny that, you know, that's where I was back then. But I like went down to Atlanta and presented a marketing plan for a car shop. So I always kind of like, I knew I was going to go into marketing. I just like really picked it up. The B2B side though was just like happenstance, right? Like you go to marketing, I think a lot of us are like, oh man, I want to go work for, you know, a big consumer brand or, you know, big fancy agency that's doing commercials and all that stuff. And kind of just found myself after college, you know, looking for a full-time role, and Graco Incorporated out of Minneapolis was looking for interns. So that's kind of what started me down the path. And then just by luck, like, you know, my contract ended with Graco. I did some officer training with the Guard, came back. They weren't looking for a full-time role, but I found a full-time sales role. You know, I think a lot of marketers kind of take that path, like not a lot of marketing jobs, but I'll go do sales for a little bit. That was a B2B manufacturing company called Proto Labs. Found out I don't like doing sales, don't like being on the phone. Found another job in another B2B manufacturing company. So I was a coordinator there for like 4 years, a small company called Microcontrol Company out of northern Minneapolis, and was there for 4 years, and then went back to Graco. You know, so it's just like, it just keeps happening. So by that time I was like, well, I guess I'm a B2B manufacturing marketer. And, you know, I found Gorilla, and it's been history. So it'll be 4 years with Gorilla next month.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things I never saw myself. It just how life happens, I guess.
Yeah, you're the accidental marketer. So Wes, if I'm not mistaken, you're OU grad, and for friends out there like, who's OU? Well, Wes, what's the best Halloween party on the planet?
You know, to be honest with you, I was there. My senior year actually was COVID, but over the years when I was there, it was pretty crazy. Freshman and sophomore year, but junior year it really died down. Like it's just slowly kind of declining. I don't know if it's, you know, I don't know if it's picked up a lot more, but it's definitely crazy for Halloween there still. So
for friends out there, Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, it's a wonderful historic college, longtime college. And if I'm not mistaken, you're a communications major. And so when you were at OU, did you kind of see yourself, you know, you're in Cleveland, great industrial, wonderful legacy of industrial companies in Cleveland. Did you see yourself getting into the B2B space marketing wise, or what's that look like?
No, I mean, not at all. So coming out of high school and even growing up, I wanted to make movies, to do video production.
It's not too late, man. It's not too late.
It's not too late, right? But so I picked OU, and I went to OU. I'm from a pretty small town in West Central Ohio. I picked OU because the Scripps School of Journalism and Communications is like number 2, number 3 in the country, behind Syracuse and Mizzou. They're always kind of interchanged with each other.
Yep.
And so during my time there, I was heavy into video production, worked for some TV stations, did a lot of sports video production, had a couple different internships, and I was actually interning with NFL Films when COVID hit. And then COVID hit, and like a lot of other people, I lost my job, and I, you know, moved home and everything, had to finish up school. And what I learned was I really still had a passion for it, but I don't know what it looks like from a real career sense, as far as the happiness of people working in it, you know, where you have to live to be able to have these opportunities. I didn't know if it made sense for my life, especially as I was looking to get married and everything. So I graduated. I got my first job. I thought it was a video production job, but it was actually more of a kind of multimedia position at a B2B trade publication in downtown Cleveland. Growing up, Cleveland was like this mythical faraway place, like 3.5 hours from where I grew up. And
ever Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly. I never thought I would be here, but it's where my wife and I got jobs after COVID. And so I did that for a little bit, and then went to an agency that was in B2B. And a lot of my clients, if you're familiar with RPM, that was a really big client that we had out of Cleveland, who does a lot of industrial things and products. Then I went to a commercial construction company that worked across the country doing not only finished carpentry, drywall, steel framing, things like that, but also clean rooms, radiation shielding. And so I've been in B2B for a while, and then, you know, came over to Gorilla to kind of get back into that manufacturing space that I enjoyed when I was with my other agency. And took a lot of the lessons that I had from that previous role in that construction job, and now I'm here. So.
Awesome. Well, wonderful story, man. I'll tell you, Cleveland's a great city. So congratulations to you and your wife, and just wishing you tons of success. Brendon, do us a favor for folks. We keep talking about this gorilla thing.
Yeah.
Like, all right, hands down, best name in the manufacturing B2B marketing space, Gorilla 76. Your owners, dear friends of ours, been on the show multiple times. Massive respect, lots of love for your team, and we've had multiple teammates of yours on our show. Brendon, who is Gorilla 76? How do you guys make the world a better place?
Yeah, so we are the industrial marketing agency.
There aren't any others, are there?
There are, but we don't talk about them. Yeah, so John and Joe started the company back in 2006, and so we're coming up on 20 years next year, which is pretty incredible. So big shout out to John and Joe for running the company for this long, and it's very successful. So it's been cool. We over time, I think they started doing like local stuff in St. Louis, but over time, like they just started to see like, oh, we actually like really working in the B2B space, and in particular, we like working with the manufacturing side of things. So it started as kind of general marketing agency, a couple college guys basically like out of their garage on the weekends and stuff from their full-time agency jobs. And it's just like morphed over time. I think, we talk a lot about positioning and messaging, and this is like one of those things where it's like, we're just going to niche down into the thing that we really like doing. And, really good people, make good money with them, really interesting marketing problems that we get to solve. So yeah, just kind of like really focused in on the digital side of things, demand generation, brand building, performance marketing, really good content writing. Kind of like those are our specialties. And I'd say like, I was attracted to Gorilla just because of how open they were when, I was looking for a new role. Like, this is how you do marketing. Like, I was like one of those guys, like I was with, my first real marketing job, I was a marketing team of one. And then I got to Graco, a little bit bigger company. And I had, a couple product marketers and a channel marketer that I worked with. And, you just kind of do the thing where it's like, all right, you just take the orders from the sales team and the boss, and all right, well, I'm just going to be a brochure maker guy with no InDesign experience. Learn how to do InDesign and Illustrator so you can like make brochures on a shoestring. And now you got to do this trade show. So it's just like, all these tactics.
Right. I
was like, there's got to be a better way. I feel like, I did marketing in my undergrad. I eventually got my degree, my graduate degree in marketing. I was like, I didn't learn how to do any of this stuff like execution wise at school. It was all like, it's good theoretical like stuff. But you don't like, how do you do digital marketing today? And how do you do demand generation? And so I found, back then we called it Industrial Marketing Live. It was run by Matt Chanella. And I was like, man, they're like just giving you the playbook. And, oh, hey, honey, I'm on a call right now.
Awesome.
Oh, that was awesome. That was great.
So, just so open with information. You go to the website and there's like all these blogs, IML. Now we have the manufacturing marketer that I host. Just like giving away all the information that a marketer needs to run their marketing program. And so that was cool. And the people here are just really cool. It's Midwest based. I'm up in Minnesota, but the company's down in St. Louis. Wes is out in Ohio. So like, is Ohio Midwest? We'll say it is for the show.
Fringe.
But also like really good people. Our clients are really good. So I just feel like I think we're making the marketing world a better place by just giving out the information. And who needs help with the strategy and execution side of things. Obviously, like we're here to help run programs for companies and help them, hit the goals that they have set and like support these marketers that are out there on the front lines. 1 and 2 person teams. So. I really love working for this company. People are good. John and Joe are great. I think we're just like trying to make the marketing world for manufacturing just a little bit better every day.
Just making it a little better every day.
Yeah. And the Industrial Marketing Summit, definitely a big part of that now.
And you talk about one thing I really love about Gorilla 76 is like you said, and I believe this as well, just share everything, right? Yeah. Share everything, how we do it, the playbook, whatever you want, because there are some people that's really going to help. And there are some people that want to work with you and want to work with somebody because they don't have time to do it. They don't want to learn how to do it. They have more important things to do. And I just think this is such a great way to do it. I was just on your site again this morning preparing, and so much great information on there. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab their website real quick. We got a couple comments. Terry says, hey, congrats. I respect you. Says success factors are exactly the same. And hey, how about you guys sitting down? What, Wes, you still sitting down? How about
Oh,
this lovely
Peyton.
lady. Like, what
Wow.
on earth is Peyton? One of my favorite individuals on the planet is here today. Peyton, what a rock star she is, man.
Yeah, she is.
So, Wes,
Yeah.
keep the ball rolling. As a matter of fact, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to pull up your website. And what we talk about, a lot of marketers will say, like, hey, we're the cobbler kids with no shoes, right?
Yeah.
Like, do marketing for other people, but then you go to like our website or this, and we're not up to speed. I'll tell you, Gorilla 76, like Damon was just saying, you guys, I'm going to pull up your website. But Wes, what would you continue on from what Brandon's saying about like how do you guys make the world a better place? What's so amazing about Gorilla 76?
Yeah, I mean, I think even Damon, to kind of touch on your point, what you were calling out about Brendon, I think that there's, a lot of people in the space who say they're experts, right? They're experts at marketing, they're experts in the manufacturing field. But a real common denominator is that they don't show it publicly, right? And I think that begs the question, are you really an expert if you're not showing your expertise? And so I think that's why, how we talk about marketing, how we give away our playbook, how we're giving away this information to enable people to be more successful is what actually makes us experts in the field. And I think that it's really important if you're, with any company, if you're saying we can get you these results, we can do these things for you, well, we need to make sure that we actually do them for ourselves, right? And I think a huge part of that is, of course, all the media properties that we have where we're sharing information. I mean, again, we just talked about Peyton, but Peyton seriously is amazing as far as working on our brand, maintaining our brand, putting out content, and really putting out a really solid foundation for us for marketing to demonstrate our capabilities and show that, the things that we're saying to you, the KPIs we say we could hit, the different foundational work that's super important for your website, for video, for your brand, we're actually doing it for ourselves. And so you can actually see and trust that what we're saying we can deliver for you, we already have delivered already.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And so here you see like Joe's got his marketing executive podcast. Yep. It's a wonderful, incredible podcast. You guys have the collective and just all sorts of wonderful information. So guys, again, connect with these guys on LinkedIn, go to the Gorilla 76 website, and you're going to see all sorts of great information. Let's check out their learning center. So how about this? Yep. All sorts of wonderful information. Let's go here. So Brendon, what do you, let me stop sharing. Give me 1 second. Let me come back to you guys. So Brendon, what would you share? Like, what's your specialty? So there's a manufacturer out there like, hey, you've really piqued my curiosity, my interest. Like, what is like a really sweet spot for you? And why should they be reaching out to you as soon as possible?
I would say the thing that I've been really thinking about over the last year, is probably positioning and messaging. I think it's just like, that is the thing that I think separates a lot of industrial companies. That is the thing that lets you drive price, lets you kind of drive the market. I see a lot of manufacturing companies that don't do a good job of talking about their value proposition, and they end up competing on price. They commoditize their product and their service. They end up on Thomasnet, they end up on Xometry, all these other like catalog kind of situations. Like when I was at Graco, like we were in the Grangers, we were in the McMaster cars, on Motion, all these big national distributors, and you're in there with all the other, like I was in the pumps division, so we have the Arrows and the Wildens and all these other brands, and you end up just like, man, what is making my pump different than these 5 other brands? And over like since I've been at Gorilla, but especially over the last year, my thought is like, man, really like having a solid position. And we talked about this on Industrial Marketing Collective Live last week. I think most companies have a position, right? Like we all know, like, here's the product I have, here's my ideal customer, here's generally who I compete with in the marketplace. They miss the last piece though. They miss like, what is the thing that makes me different? What is the thing that actually drives value? And I think that is like really what your message is. And we fail to like understand the problem that our ideal customer has. Like, what is the thing that keeps that engineer, that manufacturing operations person up at night? We don't do a good job of telling that story. And then we don't do a good job of telling them, well, here's the ideal outcome I know you're trying to get to. And then here's how I'm going to help you get to it. It's, you go to a lot of manufacturing websites and it's just bullet points of lists and features and technical specifications. You're putting a lot of the onus on your buyer to connect the dots, and they don't want to do that. Like, there's too many options now, especially like, man, you just go into like Gemini or ChatGPT, like, who's the best welder in Minnesota? Like, you're going to get a big list. Like, how are you competing against that list? Your message is how you do that. So that's what I've been really thinking about over the last year is, how do we elevate our value proposition to convince people that we are the only choice? And I think there is the piece here too, where, once you understand the message, now you can start building a content strategy that targets that message and positions you as the expert and the thought leader in the space. So when somebody thinks, oh, I need a welder, I need, Brendon'sWeldingCompany.com because he gives me all this information for free. Otherwise, like, I'm at the mercy of a Google search, or I'm at the mercy of some result in ChatGPT. No, I want people like, hey, I had a really good experience with Brendon. I learned a lot from his YouTube channel, his LinkedIn, his website. You should go talk to him if you have a welding problem. Yeah. So like, that's kind of like where I see like, that having that message in that position is critical to a really strong marketing platform that drives revenue and profit.
Yeah. And just first of all, so many manufacturers and industrial companies don't even have the content to even start to do that, right? Because you're talking about Brendon's Welding, and if Brendon's Welding, like you said, had some good YouTube videos explaining things, and like you guys are doing, explaining different pieces of marketing, and just really letting people learn, first of all, from you, and then get to know you in the process. That's such a huge relationship building piece that we miss in industrial and marketing companies that don't really embrace the fact that, hey, I was part of the years of salespeople going out and visiting everyone. That's behind us until someone gets to know us online, learn from us, and get real comfortable with we're the choice, hopefully, or one of two, or maybe three at the most, before they even start to talk to us.
Exactly.
And it's just so critical now, and it's not hard. It's just to get that strategy. So great what you said.
And Terry says, yes, exactly. And then he drops a brilliant. And so you're getting a nice confirmation. Again, guys, we're here with our dear friends from Gorilla 76. You want to stop by their website, connect with these two fine young gentlemen on LinkedIn. Wes, I'm going to slide into the Industrial Marketing Summit, but anything that you want to piggyback off of what Brendon just said for that manufacturer out there, or from a Gorilla perspective, your expertise, anything you want to share, and then we're going to slide right into the summit.
Yeah, I would say, as far as just to add to what Brendon said, really, for people who might be watching this and say, oh, is this me? I need to work with Gorilla. I think another thing is, we see it a lot in the industrial sector and B2B in general, really, where it's kind of random acts of marketing. And so, if you're a B2B company who's tried to hire the marketing coordinator, tried to go to a couple trade shows, tried to run some Google ads, and things aren't working, really where we specialize and where our expertise is being a partner, coming in and strategically looking at, what are the goals and the challenges that you're trying to work through, whether that's over a year period or what have you. And then, what are the actual tactics that apply to that strategy? And I think that with the B2B in general, the industrial segment miss a lot of that strategy. And so I think that's where we've kind of planted our flag and really had success, is working to actually implement a solid strategy that's going to work, and you're going to start seeing that return on investment when you look at marketing.
Phenomenal point. Absolutely love it. And so as we're coming to the top of the hour, if you're just joining us, again, we're here with Brendon and Wes. We're going to dive into the Industrial Marketing Summit. Wes, while you're at it, could you please share with folks, what is the Industrial Marketing Summit? I'm going to grab the website, but what is the Industrial Marketing Summit, and why does everybody have to be there?
Yeah, I mean, I think IMS, when you boil it down, is the in-person gathering, the in-person element of all of that expertise that is being shared, all of those different communities that we have online with people who are involved. This is kind of the culmination of all of that. And so we're bringing together not only all of our internal expertise, but also a lot of thought leadership and expertise out in the industry on a variety of different topics. And it's meant to be a summit where people who are working in these fields, who are working as those marketing coordinators, as those salespeople, as those operational people, can come and can learn and can be with a group of people who are working in the same environments, who might have the same challenges as them, and who might be able to just build a relationship and be more ingrained in manufacturing and in B2B, because it's a wonderful community. And I love when there's new people that are being brought into the fold. And so it's just, like I said, to say it succinctly, it's a culmination of all of our expertise, external expertise, and all those communities that we've built over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, it's just such a great time. So let's go. You know what, Brendon? I don't know. Do you know any particular speakers? I know there's a couple of handsome guys that might be speaking at the conference. Do you know of any in particular that are going to be speaking at the conference this year?
I'm gonna have to give me 1 second. Put me on the spot here. I can't remember. I cannot remember. I was really looking forward to Rand Fishkin's keynote. That's gonna be really great. He's been doing a lot of work, like digging into the AI kind of stuff. So I think that's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward also to Dale Bertrand's discussions. He's also doing a lot of AI. Very interested in like how folks are actually using AI. So Dale's actually doing a workshop, and he's got a talk as well. We got video marketing happening. Emily Ting, a big friend of Industrial Marketing Collective Live. She's going to be there talking about distribution programs. Josh Rosman was just on Industrial Marketing Collective Live with Peyton and talking about he's got like a branded cartoon mascot, and so like how is he using that character to help build his brand? So there's gonna be a lot of really great talks. It's a lot of the talks are from people that are in the trenches doing marketing too. So it's not just us here up at the agency. It's like people that are in manufacturing companies doing marketing at a really high level. Like things like I have a hard time talking about these days. Like I haven't run a distribution program in 4 or 5 years, but Emily's doing it every day. So she's going to be up on stage and talking about how she's doing that. So it's going to be really fun to sit down. This will be actually my first one too. I missed the last two because of Army commitments. So my first time going down to Austin with the team. It's going to be a good time.
Well, awesome. And so Wes, this gentleman here, Craig, was just on our show on Friday. He's a fellow Clevelander. So Craig Coffey's in Cleveland. Now, Wes, I'm going to pose a question to you that I posed to Craig. Are you familiar with any particular guys, any two handsome guys that are going to be speaking, like doing a workshop of any type? Do you know any particular names or thoughts? What are your comments, sir?
Now that I think about it, I think maybe you were setting Brendon up to talk about our workshop, but I wasn't too sure about that. Am I correct on that one?
No, I was just asking for a friend. I was just seeing if there's any, anybody in particular. But but now that I'm looking at this, there are two particular slightly handsome. Now look how much more. You know what, Damon? I can't help myself. Ready? Now look at the 3 mustaches, right? And now look what he looks like without the mustache. Yeah. So all right, I'm going to come back to share my screen. So Wes, just talk a little bit about this. How did your workshop come about, and what can just give us a little sliver, because they have to go to the Industrial Marketing Summit. By the way, Damon, we have a discount code. We have a coupon code for everybody out there, right?
B2Btail.com.
B2Btail.com, all small letters. And so if you type in, when you go to checkout today, get out that credit card before Christmas shopping starts, right? Or any of the holiday shopping or anything out ahead, or buying your turkey for Thanksgiving, go out and go ahead and book yourself for the Industrial Marketing Summit. And we have a little coupon code, B2Btail. You drop that in the coupon code when you check out, and you will save a few dollars. Wes, tell us a little bit about the workshop. What can they expect at your workshop?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to give too much away, but really where this, kind of came from and originated from really is we're seeing a lot of the companies that we're working for and working with really with marketing are also struggling on the sales aspect. And I think you guys know, just working in B2B, that a lot of B2B companies say, we have a great sales process. And then you look at the sales process and you think, wow, there's a lot of different areas that we could improve. And so sales enablement and sales has come up a lot with a lot of our customers. And it's been a really awesome opportunity for Gorilla internally to add another dimension to what we're doing and how we're strategically helping our customers. And so our workshop is going to focus on a couple different things as far as sales enablement. Number one, is starting to work on and change mindsets and thinking about sales enablement, right? I think it's very easy to be in your silo of I'm in marketing, I'm in sales. There's not much crossover until our boss makes us or sales requests something of me or complains about the leads. And the list goes on and on and on. But I think it's important to change the mindset. And then number two, we want to look at, okay, how do you strategically think about sales enablement? Not just making brochures, but actually creating impact just with marketing, just like with marketing, with specific things. And then we're going to enable you to do that. We're going to give you a framework on how to do that. And then finally work with you and talk through some different action items that could come off the back of that to take what you're learning and using in the workshop and actually apply it to your company to drive measurable results.
Love it. All right. Thank you, Brendon. What do you want to piggyback on?
Yeah, I think I'll just say Wes has been doing some yeoman's work since coming on to Gorilla. He's been kind of working on the sales enablement product. So he's been thinking about this a lot. So I'm really excited to have him get up in front of the group and lead us in this important discussion on enablement. Mm-hmm. My not hot take on this topic is manufacturing marketing is really just sales enablement. Like almost everything I do is to enable the sales team to go out and close deals.
Yeah.
It's not like, you see a lot of the B2C stuff on, marketers running e-commerce plays on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all this stuff. And you don't need a salesperson there, right? Like they're closing deals out of, performance marketing and content. But it is a whole system here in the B2B side. We're talking months long sales cycles a lot of times. We're talking equipment that, $100, $200, $900,000, $1 million plus pieces of equipment. We're talking buying teams that have like 15 people in it. We're talking like, engineers and operations people and buyers and finance people and company leadership, all like on their different social media platforms. And then, there's we have distribution networks, we have internal sales teams. There's just a lot going on to close deals in B2B manufacturing. And so we have to create a system that allows us to support the sales team in a way that they can close deals, close them faster, hit their goals. And so I'm excited to have this conversation. So it's not a hot take, B2B marketing is sales enablement. It's almost equal. Everything I do, earlier I was talking positioning and messaging. Well, man, if I can have a really good, solid position and message, that enables my sales team to go out and find the exact right accounts that are going to be the ones that really need the solution to solve their most difficult problems. So we'll talk about a little bit of that, but we'll really dive in when the rubber meets the road, at the mindset, strategy, and tactics level. How do you as that B2B marketer go out and support your sales team in hitting their sales goals? I think when I look back on my career, it was always those moments where, man, what am I doing to help the sales team go out and have really good conversations? That's what's kind of propelled me forward. So I think this is a really important piece for us to think about. And like Wes said, it's a team effort. If I go and build stuff in a silo, it's not going to have any effect on the top line or the bottom line. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. We have 90 minutes. We're going to be in and out. But I think it's going to be super impactful for those, 1 to 2 person marketing teams out there. They're trying to support large sales teams and distribution teams and all that.
Well, this is phenomenal. I've been to the last 3 industrial marketing summits, and I'd say they just keep getting better with each one. And again, a number of our friends here, you guys want to catch Brendon and Wes doing their workshop. Morgan was just on our show last week. She's got a workshop coming up as well. You guys just mentioned that Rand Fishkin is going to be, Brendon, you mentioned it, keynote speaker. I've been following this guy for a long time. If you guys haven't read his book, it is phenomenal. Lost and Founder. He was actually the founder of Moz, and just a rock star in the search industry for many, many years, and up and down, from Dale to Jake was on the show a few months ago. Mandy's going to be coming on the show. Jim was on the show not too long ago. Emily's coming on. So all these folks are going to be coming on our live show, Eric. And so again, great speakers are going to be in Austin at the Industrial Marketing Summit. All right. I'm going to come back to you guys. I'm going to stop sharing. Is there a reason I left out that people should not be going to the Industrial Marketing Summit?
They should not be going.
You have to go. It's the first.
I think you have to go. And like we said, the speakers are going to be great. And this is my first one, but man, after we get back, the Gorilla team gets back, man, it's just raving about like, man, we finally get to meet all these people that we hang out with in Zoom. You know, go get a beer, go get some barbecue. You know, go to the sessions, go and like, but it's like, man, there's somebody else in the trenches with me. It's hard to see that when you're like, you know, that 1 or 2 person marketing team out there trying to do all this work. And man, am I by myself? And it's like, no, you're not. Like, there's a group of people here that are like, it feels like we're all on this big team together. It's a really cool experience. And I love how, you know, there's obviously a lot more industrial marketers out there that are not plugged into it, but you know, it's growing every year. But man, it feels like a nice little, like, it's not a family, but it's definitely a team of people that are all working together. And it's a good time. It's like the best people.
I couldn't agree more, man. It's the best opportunity for, you know, you're a solo marketer, kind of doing your own thing. Just a great place, meet people, network. Like you mentioned, barbecue, it's great weather, and just, it's a wonderful event. Wes, let's start winding down. One thing that we did not discuss that I'd be remiss if we didn't, AI. What is AI? What's it kind of look like? What's the latest, greatest for you from a Gorilla 76 standpoint? What tips, advice you want to share for folks from an AI standpoint? Anything that you want to go to there?
Yeah, I mean, what a big topic to wind down on.
Wind down on it.
Give us like a
landmine.
Gotcha.
You know, when we look at AI with Gorilla, you know, one of our co-founders, Joe, says this, and I really do believe it to be true. He says, you know, I don't want to be the person selling the horse and buggy next to the Ford plant. And you know what he means by that really is, as an agency, we're really focused on, you know, AI is here to stay. You know, I think that, is there a bubble? Is there a bubble? Is there not a bubble? It doesn't matter. It's here to stay in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And it's important, you know, if we say that we're going to be the experts in marketing, in industrial marketing, we need to make sure that as new tools and technologies are coming out, we're applying them in a responsible way, and also a way that's actually productive and beneficial. So personally, I've just been experimenting a lot with some different GPTs to run through some different things to help my production and my workload. But, you know, I'm sure Brendon also as well has a couple different things that he's been trying, but, you know, again, internally it's a priority for us. And I'm sure that we'll talk about it more as we begin to unravel that and build some solid foundational stuff in our workflows.
Awesome. Brendon, what do you want to share?
Yeah, I'll just say I've been using it a lot to get me to V1 of something that I can actually work off of. I'm not very good at blank sheet of paper, get my thoughts down.
Yep.
So that part of the, you know, the strategy piece was always really difficult. But I can, like, you know, run a podcast, right? So like I can talk to a microphone for a long time. And so I can have a lot of thoughts that it helps me organize and get to a V1 that I can start editing from. So I don't know if it's like saving me any time, but it's at least like helping me like organize my thoughts in a way that's easy for me to digest and then to share with the team. I am really looking forward to all the AI discussions that are happening. I think there's a big opportunity to learn how to use it to do some analysis of like how our ads doing, how our campaigns doing.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out how to do any of that yet, but yeah, it's a big topic for sure. Yeah, but for me, it's mostly just like my little assistant to get me to V1. You know, go out and do some research for me, all that kind of stuff.
Love it. And hey, how about we got a little comment from your friend here?
Yeah.
Demon, what do we got?
Peyton says, if you're a solo marketer, you definitely won't be alone at IMS 2026. Lots of friendly folks that you'll be in company with. Come and you'll understand exactly why everyone says, I found my people.
Man, I couldn't agree more, Peyton. And the thing, like, it should almost be like the tagline for t-shirts at IMS.
Yeah.
Like, I found my peeps. And I got to give a shout out to Peyton. So it wasn't last year, the year before. Peyton was like just running the whole show. And I'm telling you, Peyton, your work ethic, the way you ran it, it was just, I was in complete awe. And you did an amazing, incredible job. I will never forget that. So big round of applause for Peyton for doing such a great job. Great contributor to Gorilla 76 and to IMS, the success. And I tell you what I love is like how True Marketing and Gorilla 76, here are two agencies that are running their businesses and just really dedicating themselves to get this. This is the go-to conference for B2B marketers. Damon, your thoughts as we wind down and close out with our friends. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I think it's just awesome that we're able to talk to Brendon and Wes here today about the Industrial Marketing Summit 2026 and just really show people an overview of it and then highlight what these two are going to be talking about. It's going to be awesome because, as you said, Brendon and Wes helping out there, that sales enablement is really what marketing is doing in B2B because, like you said, all the things, the long cycle, the complexity of it, the complexity of the stuff you're selling, and really it is an interesting journey, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be so cool, so cool.
Damon, did I mention there's going to be two like really handsome guys that are going to be speaking to the? I can't remember. Did I mention that before? I'm old. I'm old.
I'm trying to remember, but I forget pretty easily anymore.
I know we're not young guys anymore. We forget pretty. So if I, just in case, I just wanted hey, there's gonna be these two guys that are giving this workshop, and it's just gonna be awesome. So I just wanted to make sure. I couldn't remember if I brought that up. Brendon, West, did I mention that before? I can't remember.
I think you missed it. So thanks.
I might have
to.
I
don't know about that. Good thing we hit it. Yeah,
we'll hit the replay and catch it again. So hey, and Peyton says thanks, Kurt, and say hey, lots of love to you, Peyton, you and your family. And wishing you a wonderful Thanksgiving this week. So, Brendon, let's go here. We're going to start winding things down, closing out. So, any last words of wisdom? Any parting shots? Any thoughts?
Yeah. The other thing I've been thinking about a lot recently is just iterate. Like, for most of us, like we're doing digital programs, right? Like, man, we could change our website copy like that. Like it's pretty easy, right? Like, so I think it's okay to go out there and do some stuff and experiment with stuff and, test. Figure out a message, put it out into the world. Like we've been talking about, the main places are update your hero on your website, get into your sales pitches, and start weaving it into the content that you're doing. And if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit, and do it again, and just keep iterating on it till you get it right. Maybe a nice highly produced video or some sort of like printed piece. You probably want things kind of buttoned up for that, but just for like all the digital stuff we're doing, like just keep iterating on it until you find the thing that's going to resonate. Be tied in with your sales team, like especially if they're doing sales pitches with your message. Like first off, make sure that they're tied into you building the message because they're the ones that are talking to the customers every day, and then get their feedback in their sales conversations. Like, hey, was that problem like something that resonated? Is our solution resonating? Are we actually different than what our competitors are saying? So just be really tight on the sales team, iterate a lot. And I think you'll go far with your programs if you do that.
Drop the mic, my friend. That was phenomenal. Wes, can you top that? What do you got as we close out?
Oh gosh. Okay. I don't know if I can top that, but something I really believe personally, and I think it's important. We need to bring a little bit more of it into the manufacturing space. Is we just got to move fast and break more stuff. When you're looking at marketing, when you're looking at sales, it is not one size fits all. There are a lot of things that work for a lot of companies that will not work for you. And so it's important to get out there and try things. And if they don't work, don't be afraid to think of a unique solution, something that could have real impact because it's important. And it also stretches you and helps you grow. So I think that's something you got to work on.
All right. Another drop the mic. Go out and break things, man. Damon, we're good at breaking things, right? We're a little clumsy.
Oh, yeah. I'm pro at it.
We can break things. So, all right, guys. You know what? I'm keeping you a lot longer tonight. So I'm having so much fun. I don't want to. All right. Damon, we got one last question. You guys ready?
Yep.
Brendon, you're sitting down. Okay. Who's a baseball fan? Anybody a baseball fan out there?
Brendon? Well, I've been a baseball fan since like 2009 when the Twins were okay.
It's been a while. Wes, who's your team?
Originally Reds because I'm from West Central Ohio, but also Guardians. I live in Cleveland. I got to root for them. So
all right. Well, let's. You know what? I started with Brendon. I'll go to Wes. Wes, you ready? You good? Okay. You ready?
Okay.
All right. The Cleveland Guardians, aka the old tribe, right? So the Cleveland Indians are playing the dreaded Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of like you feel the tension, right?
Yep.
So it's bottom of the ninth. There's 2 outs and there's a guy on second base.
Mm-hmm.
Manager turns down the bench and says, "Hey, Temple, grab your helmet, grab your bat, get up to the plate, and hit in the winning run, will you please?" So bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, guy on second, playing the dreaded Yankees. You grab your helmet, grab your bat, you're walking up to the plate. What's your walk-up song?
Oh man. Oh man. Okay. I got to do Eruption by Van Halen. That's going to get me ready.
There you go. That's going
to get me ready.
Dude, you're way too young for Van Halen. That's awesome.
That would be a good
That's
one.
my dad's music.
That's your dad. I knew he was going to say that. That's my dad's
Yeah.
music. That's
Yeah.
Damon. We just had somebody say that my dad used to play. Who was it? AC/DC. We had AC/DC a couple weeks ago. Right?
Yeah. That'd be
So, Brendon, Yankees are playing the dreaded Twins. Man, what's your walk-up song? Bottom of the ninth.
Yeah. We're a big hockey family over here, so we go to the rink. My kids ask for music, so I'm going to go with my son's song right now, "Master of Puppets" by Metallica.
Oh God. What's more juice than that right there? So, all right, guys, thank you. Great answers. I appreciate you playing along. So, hey, how about if we wind down? If you've been hanging out with us, we appreciate you more than you can imagine. Let's give our two guests a big round of applause. Thank you guys for sharing your expertise, your passion. Damon, are you just fired? You ready to run through a wall or what?
This is awesome. All
right, we're going to wind down. So, guys, thank you both. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Brendon. Hang out with us for 1 second as we close out. Again, just a recap. Catch out Industrial Marketing Summit 2026. You're going to have an absolute great time. Wonderful workshops. In the meantime, connect with these fine young men on LinkedIn. They're doing amazing, incredible work. And for everybody out there, big shout out, big thank you to you, and happy Thanksgiving. We wish you, your family, a wonderful, amazing, safe, and wonderful holiday. God bless you, and we will catch you. Damon, we're off on Friday. We'll catch them next week.
So. Yes, we are.
All right. Hang out, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, guys.